Goosebumps is rated Y because it may be too spooky for kids.
Hello, Goosebumps fans. Okay, so Con came up with a good point, which I think it actually just goes in line with what I was thinking. So I haven't really truly looked into it exactly, but I already looked in a little bit. The thing is that Slappy Beware kind of bumps into I'm Slappy's evil twin. So I have multiple of options that could happen. And there is like even some pitfalls. So of course, let me just say this is a multi-universe talk here. We're not going to try to put all this in the main Goosebumps universe because it's like there's just too much that you'd have to do to make it fit into the Goosebumps universe, because the Goosebumps universe with all the books in it, that can't happen. That's why there has to be multiple universes, because all the books happen in one universe. That's impossible. So as for Goosebumps OG world, Goosebumps 62, I would say this one could actually fit in and it would be perfect, definitely perfect. But of course, then it bumps uglies with, of course, I'm Slappy's evil twin, because I'm pretty sure that one actually works perfectly fine as well. The only little hiccup is the fact of if it's not a prequel, because for me, I believe it's Slappy's evil twin, then the 7th book, and you go down under. Other hand, it could actually be this, which is the new version, is that it's Slappy Beware that's first, then Snappy is made later, I guess, I suppose, I think. Yeah, but it's like, oh, but they're like, they're irreplaceable. They can't separate from each other. And then as soon as they were forced to be separated from each other, well, now Slappy's on his own and he hasn't actually had to drive to see Snappy ever again, which is like, but you just said they're inseparable. You can't separate them, and here they are separated, man. There should have been already a sequel book, but there is no sequel book. So again, we could either have this as the prequel, the first book, or we could just basically chalk it up and be like, yeah, this is the book, and now we have a new division where it's like, and this book basically goes and turns the 62 universe, the OG universe with all the 62 books with some extra books in it. Now we have two versions of it where it's like one has some Slappy's evil twin, the other one has Slappy Beware. Yes, I know. As your head started hurting yet? Goosebumps 2000, I think it could still work. So the Goosebumps 2000 series, which most likely is Injunction and still can be part of the OG, which this is just basically rehashing, but I'm just going to say on its own, if it's on its own, the Goosebumps 2000s world have some books that did happen in the original 62 books, but I think this one could actually be included. So that means that Slappy Beware will be included in this one, which means now we have two versions of Goosebumps 2000, considering, again, Snappy could actually still be a part of it. It still explains what happened and how in the world did Slappy get into the dumpster, that freaking location. It's easy, it makes sense. It got blown all the way over there. The construction person's like, what this? And threw it in the trash. Just threw Slappy in the trash, and that's how they found him. Look, it worked. It works. Sadly, it works. All right, another one. Let's see. So, Horrorland could it fit in here? Yes. Chances are it most likely can. It's either that or, again, Horrorland also does the same thing as 2000s, which means all the books that have been mentioned and have got sequels are actually a part of this world. The only difference is that due to issues of Scholastic, some books did not actually occur in Goosebumps 2000. Well, I mean in Goosebumps Horrorland, meaning that Return to Horrorland never happened, Slappy's Nightmare never happened, Monster Blood 2 and 3 never happened. We're going by what they actually release at this time. So with that said, that means that, yeah, Slappy Beware can work in that one. And then, of course, there's Slappy World. That's where there's a little bit of an issue being like, well, this is kind of hard. But you could actually break it in two. Where it's like Slappy World, Slappy Beware is the main one, and Snappy does not exist. While in the other Slappy world, Snappy does exist. But considering Slappy is all powerful with all the power in the world, he could actually bend over backwards and make sure that both stories can be contained in Slappy World, because he's the one who's controlling that universe. Since he's controlling that universe, that means that he can have multiple origins. I forgot about Hollow Horrors and Most Wanted. Hollow Horrors I don't think Slappy had a Hollow Horrors in that one, so that one's like ignored. Give Yourself Goosebumps. Slappy never showed up in Give Yourself Goosebumps, but you know, short story, same deal too. So it's like, yeah, it's like there's some things that you just straight up can knock off, being like, yeah, that's not here or there. Yeah, get out of here, go away. There is one that actually did need to be mentioned. Let's see. So Mr. Wood has to exist though, so that means that the seventh book definitely exists, and of course, yeah, but that means that they actually had to not skip the 1920s, which means, again, like I said, Slappy's all powerful. He can have all the books that he wants in this universe. Slappy wanted all the stories that actually happen between the Dead House to now are all crammed in the Slappy world. Even though it's like, yeah, but like I said before, would Slappy even care though? Would Slappy even care? But the thing is that even though Slappy wouldn't care, he would care about his brother, because that's what it sounds like. He cared about his brother. So Snappy won't be erased at all because of this origin. So that means that those two stories will actually be together. Now as for the other thing that Khan said, God, could Snappy actually be the Wally version in Slappy World? Meaning that for Slappy World, Slappy rewrote Wally. Yeah, Slappy rewrote Wally and turned him into Snappy. Yeah, that's kind of actually, I like that idea, because versus the idea of what I always think is that Mr. Wood and Wally's the same. Since Mr. Wood and Wally's the same, basically him duking out with Wally means that he's showing him once and for all that he's not afraid of you. I'm not afraid of you anymore. Come on, bring it. And it's like, oh man, that's so good. Versus this new detail where it's like, well, Wally's a piece of trash and a jerk. So if he's able to actually make Wally into something he likes and get rid of him and turn him into Slappy, apparently that's what Slappy did. Means that Wally would not actually be a rival, but he would actually be an asset, supposedly. Yeah, I'll have to say that makes sense. And of course, I know I'm just spinning the part of where it's like, yeah, because Slappy is able to form this world the way he wants to be. And that's what I believe, is that since he got all this damn power and he's able to do almost anything now, I'm pretty sure he's basically just like Twacha. And that means that he's able to change anything he wants. So I would say, like, when Slappy got that power, it's like, well, how did he get that power? I don't know. It's like, yeah, I don't know. I think I would have to go with the whole thing of maturity, even though Slappy Beware kind of wrecks that a little bit. But I would just say that the maturity of Slappy, because every single time he's, brought back, he gets more powerful and stuff. And there might be even stories that we don't even know. And Slappy just continues to be more powerful and gets powerful and powerful and powerful to the point where it's like he was a messed up ticking time bomb. And who knows, we could even just say maybe for Slappy with Goosebumps Horrorland. I'm just going to end it by saying that, oh yeah, the fact of the brain draining that happened in Horrorland could have actually, because he got his mind back, and that brain drain could have actually allowed him, when he got his brain back, to unlock full potentials, So that's one way how he got that power. But right now, it's just pure speculation. Anyways, yeah, have a scary day, have a scary night.